Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Rodrygo to Arsenal is picking up speed as the Brazilian wants to leave Real Madrid this summer, according to TalkSport. Arsenal are in pole position to sign the player. And of course, at the moment, we have a lot of competition from Chelsea and Liverpool. But Arsenal now believe they can sign Rodrygo goals this summer from Real Madrid. Liverpool have joined the race to sign Victor Gyökeres this summer. They also want a piece of that £60 million bargain. I told you clubs were going to see it. I told you clubs were always going to be a lot on that position. But of course, we'll be talking about that as well. There is also competition on Joan Garcia now, as three clubs, big clubs, want to make him their number one next season. That is Aston Villa, who could lose Emiliano Martinez to Saudi Arabia this summer. That is also Newcastle as well, and FC Barcelona. So Joan Garcia wants Arsenal 100%, but three clubs that want to make him a number one. Is he going to turn down that? We shall talk about that as well. But Arsenal are going to be signing a centre-back this summer, regardless of the position of Jakub Kiwior. If Jakub Kiwior leaves, Arsenal sign a new centre-back. If Jakub Kiwior stays, according to Graham Bailey, Arsenal will still sign a new centre-back, despite the fact that Dean Huijsen has joined Real Madrid for 50 million. We wanted him, we did get him, and now Arsenal have to look at other targets on our shortlist. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. What are we talking about? Rodrygo. Rodrygo versus Nico Williams. That is the talk on Twitter. That is the talk on Facebook. Rodrygo versus Nico Williams. And I'm not going to lie, both of them are quite very exciting, but for me, Rodrygo is a different class. We'll talk about that in this one as well. But let's start off with the update from TalkSport. Alex Crook confirming their chief correspondent for transfers and sports news at TalkSport, has confirmed that Arsenal are now really picking up speed, and this deal is really picking up speed, especially after Madrid spending that £50 million on Dean Huijsen. Now, the player apparently is not happy at Real Madrid and is looking out, for playing time elsewhere. He's also looking at positions where he could play as a left winger. Now, I don't know about this. I don't know whether it is okay and it is possible for a player to leave a club because they want to play as a winger on the left and they're being played as a winger on the right. Now, of course, if your Rodrygo goes and you want to play on the left wing, it's going to be difficult at Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe is a master, a specialist in that position. He has played as a centre forward this season, scored 40 goals, which is quite brilliant and amazing, but he wants to play off the left. And if you've seen Kylian Mbappe against Arsenal, he was always drifting to the left. Vinicius Jr., we know that much. We know how good he is, and he's a very, very good player on the left as well. And I don't think Rodrygo is in the capacity, in the level where Madrid are going to shift any of Mbappe and Vinicius in order to accommodate Rodrygo on the left. So it's one or two situations. Number one, I think Rodrygo either has to adapt to playing to the right wing, and I still think that it's a very, very big opportunity for him to play there, or he's got to leave. And we're being told the player is choosing to leave rather than stay at Real Madrid. He's unhappy at the club right about now. Now, when Alex Crook says that this deal is picking up speed, I really wonder what he actually means, because Madrid have not given us their stance yet. And yes, maybe the player is unhappy, but that doesn't mean that he's 100% decided to leave Real Madrid this summer. So I don't know what he actually means. Does it mean that Arsenal are getting more encouragement from the Madrid side, and maybe from the Rodrygo side, that a deal can be done? This was reported about 2 days ago, by the way, that Liverpool and Arsenal were now very confident that a deal for Rodrygo could be done this summer. So maybe Arsenal scouts and Arsenal people doing deals are looking at the situation between Madrid and Rodrygo, and they're getting encouragement that a deal can be done. But I remember Fabrizio talking about Rodrygo last summer when Kylian Mbappe had signed, and he said the player is 100% sold onto being a Real Madrid player. He rejected as many clubs as he could in order to sign for Real Madrid. And he also said that his father and his family their blood is Real Madrid. So is it just gonna leave all that behind because of Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior? I don't know. Now, for me, like I said before, a very important element and factor in this deal is gonna be Rodrigo himself, but also Xabi Alonso. So Xabi Alonso has been confirmed as the new Real Madrid manager. Bloody hell, Champions League is going to be very difficult next season, isn't it? I mean, you have Xavi Simons, you have Hansi Flick at Barca, and then you have Bayern who are improving with, with Vicente Company. It's going to be, quite interesting. But the point I want to make is that if you have Xabi Alonso confirmed as the new manager, and he has told maybe Rodrigo, you're not part of my plans. And again, if Xabi Alonso tells Rodrigo you're not part of my plans, that will be communicated very well by the likes of Romano in this world, by the likes of David Stein in this world, and the others, right? But what I can confirm from The Athletic is that they have confirmed Rodrigo is a target for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta is a big fan. Yeah, I mean, a few reports are saying that Mikel Arteta is desperate on Rodrigo. I don't think Mikel is desperate to sign Rodrigo. I think he loves Nico Williams. He understands Nico Williams. He has followed Nico Williams for some time. And if Mikel is desperate to sign two players this summer, that would have been Zubimendi and Nico Williams from Spain. I don't think he's desperate to sign Rodrigo. I think they are looking at it as a market opportunity. Both Andre Bata and Arteta saying, let's watch the space. Let's see what comes out of this one. But if we can get him to sign this summer, then we shall go ahead and do the deal, no doubt. So it could cost about 80 million euros. I don't expect a deal below 8 million euros. Obviously, Madrid know the value of Rodrigo. Anyone out there is gonna be dying to sign Rodrigo goes. The only caveat to this deal on Madrid's side is how many clubs are willing to sign Rodrigo this summer. Liverpool do want a winger, but are they going to spend 80 million euros on Rodrigo? Possibly not. Bayern, possibly not. Barca, obviously not. Manchester City could. Actually, Manchester City could, right? So you might have Arsenal there and Manchester City as the two clubs that are willing and able to give you about 80 million euros in Rodrigo. But where is it going to go? Is it going to stay? We are going to keep you posted on this one as Arsenal are really getting more and more confident a deal can be done on Rodrigo from Real Madrid. Now, Liverpool have joined the fray in order to sign Victor Gyökeres this summer. Arsenal were never alone, and Arsenal were never working alone on this deal. Finally, we've got confirmed company. Liverpool under Arne Slot are looking to sign a player, a number 9. And Victor Gyökeres is one of the players that is catching their eyes. And it's a market opportunity deal. You expect a lot of company. And I've told you this before, that I don't want, there is this kind of bad mentality from the Arsenal fan base, where if Arsenal are competing with, are trying to sign a player, another club comes in, we kind of panic and we say, we are not good enough. It's not about that. I think anyone has a right to negotiate with Victor Gyökeres and with Sporting for Victor Gyökeres. Liverpool joining this deal makes it a little bit complicated because we are being told that about 60 to 70 million is acceptable by Sporting. But that is without competition. If the competition comes in, right? If the competition comes in, hell, Sporting are going to say, I'm going to sell to the biggest bidder, right? So if Arsenal are willing to pay 60 million, then maybe Liverpool are willing to pay 65, and maybe we have some other goons that come in and they have Saudi Arabian money and they have oil money and they have, and they can, just put on the table 80 million or 75 million. It's going to be very, very complicated. But what I can trust on this one, I'm not panicking. I'm undeterred when it comes to Liverpool joining the Victor Gyökeres deal. And this is why I'm unmoved. This is why I'm undeterred. One, Arsenal have done a lot of work on this deal. Andre Bata, in the last few months, has done a lot of work on the Victor Gyökeres deal. We are talking, one, almost agreeing personal terms. We are talking 2, almost agreeing a fee with Sporting Lisbon. We are talking constant communication of the Arsenal project to Victor Gyökeres. We are talking about constant meetings with the management of the player. it's a lot of work that we have done for us to be kicked out of the deal by Liverpool. Now, of course, don't underestimate Liverpool. Never underestimate Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City. These are clubs that have mastered the art of closing the deal early. That is like Real Madrid. You know the way Real Madrid signed Dean Houston? They just went in there, activated release clause, agreed personal terms, boom, the deal is done. So Liverpool are that good too. They've signed Jerry Frimpong already, and that tells you how quick they are and how agile and how sophisticated they are in the transfer market. But I think Arsenal can get this one done over Liverpool. If I compare the two clubs, where would Victor Gyökeres go without Arsenal having done a lot of groundwork? That is where the problem would be. Because honestly, why would you leave a club that has just won the Premier League for a club that is trying to win the Premier League, right? Why would you leave a club that has a consolidated project over a club that has a good project, but the project has not delivered anything? But I think if you're Victor Gyökeres, you're looking at Arsenal as a ripe project that has just not won yet. And I think he will go to Arsenal because he looks at this team full of young players, full of magic, full of energy. And it's like, I want to be part of this team. It was communicated by, I don't remember who said this, that Martin Zubimendi didn't want to go to clubs that have already won. He wanted to be part of history, just like it is at Real Sociedad. So I think Gyökeres will come in at Arsenal because he's been told he's the missing piece to the puzzle for Arsenal to win. He might go to Liverpool because Liverpool are champions. They will give him some good money as well, and they can get the deal done early. So Arsenal have got to speed up on this deal. The other deal that Arsenal have got to speed up on is the Jean Garcia deal. 3 big clubs have actually joined the fray in order to sign Jean Garcia this summer, and those clubs are Aston Villa, Newcastle, and FC Barcelona. The one thing I want to say about these 3 clubs is they need a first-choice goalkeeper. And Jean Garcia costing 21 million, that is no money for them. I'm not saying Arsenal are looking at this as very expensive, but I want to explain this. Arsenal have one of the best goalkeepers in their number 1 position. He has taken on the shot number 1 in David Raya. If you're trying to sign a backup for your number 1, 21 million for a backup goalkeeper is a lot of money. But 21 million for a first-choice goalkeeper is no money. You get the point? So if you told Villa today they are losing Emiliano Martinez to Saudi Arabia, and maybe Saudi Arabia give them about 30 million, for them to spend 20 million of 30, and get a goalkeeper who's potentially better and has a higher ceiling, maybe not better than Emi at the moment, but he's got a higher ceiling, right, than Emi Martinez, because Emi Martinez is older now. It wouldn't hurt them. Newcastle and the money they have, 20 million to sign a bloody good goalkeeper in Jean Garcia, that wouldn't hurt. And of course, Barca, 20 million for Jean Garcia, again, that wouldn't be a problem as well. So I don't know whether Arsenal are serious, but if we are really serious, we need to get this deal done quickly. Otherwise, the prospect of him playing as a first-choice goalkeeper at Newcastle, at Aston Villa, at Barcelona is more appealing than being a second-choice goalkeeper to David Raya at Arsenal. Unless he's so committed to Mikel Arteta's project and is so committed to this Arsenal project, I can see it happen. Now, someone told me in the comment section, right? Someone said something that caught my eye. Someone said that Jean Garcia is coming to become number 1 at Arsenal. Don't fool yourself. And when I saw the comment, I was like, well, but then, and I looked at Jean Garcia's performances, and I looked at the money that Arsenal are willing to spend. I wouldn't be surprised if Jean Garcia signed for Arsenal and is given enough chances to fight for the number 1 spot at the club, and he ends up as number 1. I mean, we have seen Mikel Arteta exchange goalkeeper after goalkeeper after goalkeeper after goalkeeper. Raya coming in after Ramsdale. Ramsdale coming in after Leno. Leno leaving after succumbing to defeat to, actually it was Emi Martinez leaving after losing to Leno. So it shows you that Mikel is very, very flexible when it comes to the number 1 position, and he can change it at any single time. Now, Arsenal will sign a centre-back this summer regardless of the transfer stance of Jakub Kiwior. So we are being told that Jakub Kiwior might stay. Arsenal want him to stay. They have looked at his performances and they're thrilled. But even if he stays, Arsenal will sign a centre-back. And of course, Arsenal wanted Dean Hewson for 50 million at Bournemouth. He has now got Real Madrid, but Arsenal are undeterred. They're unfazed. They will go and press ahead and try to sign a centre-back. Now, I've told you before, Arsenal are wasting money this summer. Don't sign a centre-back. Don't sign a left-back. We are okay, right? If we can manage the minutes, don't play Julian Timber every single week. Don't play Ben White every single week. Don't play Saliba every single week. Don't play Calafiori every single week, and we shall be okay. Just manage the minutes of the players that we have in the squad, and we shall be okay. I don't think we need a centre-back. I don't think we're desperate for a centre-back. Maybe next summer, after signing forward players, yeah, you can tell me that Arsenal need a new centre-back. I will be okay with that. Right now, Arsenal need a centre-back. Mikel thinks we do. I don't think. But of course, Mikel is the manager. Hit the like button. Speak to you soon.